I got a real problem today. I've got a 2018 with a 6.7 diesel motor. You know, I had the 100,000 mile extended warranty. I took this thing every 5,000 miles into a Ford dealership, everywhere from Florida to Las Vegas to Arizona to California. So it's been in a lot of different dealerships. There's one thing that they didn't ever recommend me to service, and now I've got a problem. So let's get to it and we'll show you what that problem is. If you can see underneath the truck here, I have oil all over the place. It first started dripping out of my connection there right in front of the muffler. That was my first thing. I've had no issues with this truck. I've got 140,000 miles on the truck, and I've never serviced what we're about to do today. First, we're gonna go underneath the hood here. Let's go ahead and get the hood opened up and check out what we got going on inside. So here we go. What do we think the problem is? I've done a lot of research on this. I did a lot of checking on this, and what I found out is the crankcase ventilation system is the #1 problem that's going on here. Let's take a look inside and show you where this thing is even at. If you look way back in here, there's a box right here. And this box is what is called the CCR, crankcase ventilation. CCV is what it stands for. You might see it on some of the things. There's a lot of different ways to service it. I found a lot of issues with it. What we're gonna do is we're gonna put a brand new system on it to eliminate any problem with this in the future. A lot of people told me that I probably got a turbo problem going on here. Well, you know, at first I thought maybe that's what it was. I did a lot of research on it, and I found a guy that tore his whole turbo completely apart and ended up finding out this was the problem. What put the icing on the cake here that I believe this is the only problem I have is because it was starting to come out of the exhaust. When I first pulled it out, I seen a couple drops underneath it. Well, then I pulled it in. We leave the truck pretty much in the shop most of the time now overnight. Got in the next morning and there was oil pouring out of the exhaust flange there. So I kind of cleaned that all up. I put that cardboard underneath there. The next day I came in, now it's running off the top of the gas tank. Why? Because this plastic box, which you're going to see when we pull it out, is probably going to be having oil pouring all over it. It's probably completely full of oil. The idea of that box is what it's supposed to do is take the fumes from the oil from the valve covers and stuff and recycle it and dump it back into the exhaust and burn it off. That's the intention of it, but that's not what's happening at this point. My biggest problem has been is these dealerships that I've been to, nobody ever recommended servicing this box. That's my problem. So today we're going to get into it. We're going to show you how to replace it and what I'm going to be doing to fix my problem to where I hopefully will never have this problem again. Let's get to it. You know, there's a lot of different ways to work on your truck. I've used step ladders. I've used different things like that. You can buy a fancy thing to put over the hood and lay on it, but they're close to around $200. I picked this guy up, and there's going to be a link down here. You can check it out. And it's a step that you can get, put on. That way you're not going to slip. It's got traction on it. Get me back in here to where I'll be able to do the work I need to do to get this fixed up. So first off here, what we're going to need to do is take off the gas filter here and get it going. Because you got to get this out of the way so we can get to the screws and the bolts and the hoses and everything that we're going to be needing to take off. So I had this one here. I've already had one go bad. They've got a little clip on here that they gave you as a replacement for this to get the first one off. So it's got a little lock on here. Make sure I put that back on so I don't lose it. And then we have a couple here that we need to push in and push off. Pull those out of the way. Pull the gas filter out. Watch out, because it is full of gas. If it's been a while since you've changed your gas filter, this is probably a good time to do it. A bunch of screws to take off. I have a hose I need to take off, which we're going to get the light over here so we can show you what that's going to look like down there. So here's the box. We got about, looks like 3 screws I think is what we have to take off, but there's a hose that runs right down into here. We need to get that off. So let me pull this first sleeve cover off so we can show you what's inside there. Get a light there so you guys can see what we're doing. I don't know if you still can see it. Let's try it back this way. Yeah, it looks a little better. So we pulled off, cut this sleeve off. I ended up having to use a razor knife to get it off. So now this got some kind of snazzy clip on here to get it off. We'll see what it takes. We're not going to be using this again, so however we get this off, we'll be fine. Okay, we decided to go ahead, or I decided to go ahead and pull this tube off. It's held by 2 clamps to give me a little more room to get in here to get to this hose. Okay, after trying to figure this out, I had to turn the camera off for a few seconds. You just need to bend these tabs out, 2 of them, and then the hose pulls right off. Look at that oil in there. We have a bunch of screws to take off. I have a hose I need to take off, which we're going to get the light over here so we can show you what that's going to look like down there. And if you can see right here, here is the first one we're going to take out. It's 10 millimeter. I'm going to use an air ratchet because if not, you got to get a bunch of extensions. There's a tight one back there in the back. There were 2 of them in the back that we have to get to. And I think the ratchet or something small will do a lot quicker than trying to put a bunch of extensions on it. We're on the back one right now. It was stubborn, had to get it out. Ended up the air ratchet did not work on those back 2. Had to get a couple extensions. I had to use the swivel to get it out. Next is we gotta get this box out of here. Watch our fuel lines. There it is. One of the things you need to do is mine, you can't really see the labels anymore. They're kind of wore off. So taking a look at this guy, he had a bolt that was down here. We had 2 back here. The back one fell somewhere under the truck. I can't see it. So you have 2 that's down here. These are the 2 hardest ones to get to. And then you have the one that is up here in the back. So this one is by the fuel filter here. This one's down low. There's some wires here that you got to kind of move back. Here you have to use that swivel, and I'll measure the extensions I used to be able to get those loose. So there you go. So here's the company I ordered this from. It's S-P-E-L-A-B, Sipled, not sure how to pronounce it. I'll put a link at the bottom to show the kit. Comes with like an oil separator that goes with it that we're going to put in the back there. That's going to go there. We've got to plug the front up there. We've got an O-ring. A bolt's going to go in there, and it's going to hold down the front on that. We have a plug here that we're going to end up using where we took that hose off of. We'll show you that. We have a valve here that's going to connect to all of this to where we're going to hook that hose onto here, and that's going to run underneath the truck, and we'll show you later what I'm going to do with that. They recommend on the kit that you could stick it in the frame, but you could get smelling in it. I've got an adapter coming, and I'm looking to maybe put it inside the exhaust so that way that it'll go in there. I just have to see. This is a pretty heavy-duty hose. I'm hoping that it won't melt. We'll have to see how that all works out, and let's get to it. Let's see what else we got to do. So some of the things that I bought. I was on this first thing. They do make another guy recommended this, and I'm okay with using this too. It's an O-ring lubricant. It's made by Permatex. You can get it at AutoZone, any of the places like that. It was just under $11. Coat the O-ring with all that. It's just going to make it to where when it slides in and out, it's not going to catch as much. It's going to stay a little more softer. Hey, what's 11 bucks if it makes it last longer? So we're going to put that on here. And this is going to be the first thing that we put inside the truck. So, hey, let's get back into the truck and check that out. One of the things that we're going to show you here is inside here, you can see the oil is right up to the top when we took that off. So it's not circulating at all like it should be. Look at that. That oil is right up to the top. To where if I put that in there, that cap, it's going to overflow, make a big old mess. So let's soak a little bit of that up. It's still up to the top. And I change my oil every 5,000 miles. So it's not like it's old oil that's in there. I don't change it regularly. I always use the Motorcraft oil. Yeah, it's a little tight inside here. I had to pull that wire up to where I could get it hand started, because you want to make sure you get, putting something in like this, you want to make sure it's hand threaded first, because you don't want to get it in there and cross thread it. All right, there's that is in there. That's the next step. So next one is we're going to go all the way to the back here, and we're going to put in the back piece. So we got the parts that we need to put together here. This is the part that's going to go down inside in the back there. It's got a little notch that it fits down inside. Right there it is. So it's got an O-ring on it too. When you install this into the motor, you want to kind of have these holes here towards the top of the air cleaner, or on top of the valve cover. So it's kind of facing up, not facing down, to get the oil be coming back. So kind of like that. And this is the tube that's going to go towards the back. That we don't want to tighten up yet, because we want to make sure we know how it's going to go. There's also an O-ring that goes on the bottom here. The guy that I watched doing this, he ended up not putting it on because he said there wasn't enough clearance back there. So let's go ahead and check that out and see if that's right, or like that. So we're going to put it like this. There is no instructions that come with this kit. So that goes in there. Let's see what the block looks like. If we put the block on, it's going to be there. I don't know, we might be able to get all that on there. If I can get even in there to tighten this up too. Maybe if I had a 1/4 inch drive, it probably would work. But let's tighten this guy up first in the front. It kind of holds it in place. It is going to be a bear to do. So we may do the same thing he was recommending. With this, we're going to end up having to use one of the original bolts that came with it, because it doesn't give you a shorter one. I measured it, it seemed to be about the same length. So I'm going to put the one with the nut. So there you go. There's how we got it in there. I got the nut, the one with the bolt head on the back. I've got it on the back side, then the Allen on the front side. And then we're going to go ahead and tighten that up. We got the bolts all in there. Like I said, I used the 10mm in the back because they didn't give you 2 short ones. They gave me only one. So I did the first one, the front one first, because the bolt actually goes down inside the holder here, the bracket, the mount, whatever you want to call it. And I figured that would probably get it more centered. So I kind of snugged that up to pretty good. And then I went ahead and tightened up the bolt in the back. And so we're ready to go. All we need to do now is put this on, but what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and hook the hose to it, because probably once I get it all on there, it's going to be a bear to run that hose through there. So let's go ahead and put that together now. Got the clamp all on there. I didn't have this the right size, but this one ended up working. So we're going to feed this through the back, underneath the truck. So we got this little cap. We're going to slide him on there. Could gave me one just a little bit bigger. Looks like I'm going to need 2 hands. Got that on there. Next, we're going to put the fuel filter back in. So that's that. And then the only other thing we need to do is put the snorkel back on, and we're all done. So it wasn't too bad to do. Still got to route it down there at the bottom, figure out where we're going to put that at. For now, I'm going to probably go to an exhaust shop. I got a fitting coming, and we'll look underneath there and see if there's enough room to run that hose all the way over to the exhaust pipe. Got the hose back on, tightened up the clamps, and we're ready to take it for, start it up and see what's happened. That's a wrap on the truck. Got it all fixed up. We still got to take it out for a good test drive. I still got to get some way to, gotta get that fitting put in there so I can hook it into the exhaust. I don't want to run it down the frame. That's an option that you can do. That's kind of what, I guess there's supposed to be instructions in the package, because when I was watching this other guy that put it on, he was kind of talking about the instructions or how to put it on, so I'm not sure where it's at, but I didn't get any instructions inside the box. But they said one of the options you could do with that hose is run it and put it inside the frame. But what you can do is you could get that smell of oil, burnt oil and things like that, kind of that oily smell. And some people may not like that. By putting it into the exhaust, you're burning it up just like it would be if it was, you know, the way the crankcase ventilation system was supposed to be working. So the extension that I ended up using was 17 inches long. Could go longer. The guy that I watched said about 21 inches. My 17 inches I had worked great with the swivel on the end of it. You got to have that swivel to get back to those bolts that are back there. No other way really to get back in there. Did not use that big spacer that was in there. There just wasn't enough room to get in there and try to do anything. I don't know how, maybe in a different model. Like I say, this is a 2018 F250 Super Duty. It's got the 6.7 diesel. They should all be pretty much kind of the same. I don't know how much newer, if anything has changed in that. But my biggest concern was, why didn't Ford, any of the dealers, ever say anything about maintenance on this thing? Now, the idea that I didn't have on mine, my tag was on top of that box is some numbers. Mine was already gone. I don't know how they ended up. I don't know if the oil got in there and that's what ate it all up, because that thing was completely oily covered when I took it out. So that's something you might want to do. This is a highly recommendation that if you've got some miles, mine's got 140,000 miles before this happened. It could eventually cause problems to blowing the seals out of your turbocharger, which you could end up with a lot more expense than that and a lot more work. At this case, I'm pretty sure that this is all that's wrong. We're going to take it out and drive it. I let it run outside for a little bit, probably 15, 20 minutes. I don't see any oil anywhere underneath the truck. So that's good. Tomorrow we're going to take it out and do a little driving on it. Hopefully Friday I'll have somebody weld that plug in there. And if there's anything different, I'll let you guys know. If you have any questions, put down here in the comments, and I'll do my best to answer what I can for you. So with that, I'm going to leave you right here in the shop. And got a lot more projects that we've got to do, so stay tuned, subscribe to the channel, we appreciate that. And hopefully we'll have something that you might want to be interested in or something you might be working on. So we'll see all you guys later. Have a great day.